Hi there everyone, welcome back to another YouTube live here on the Alter New blog. So I'm just going to wait for a couple of you to pop in and comment and wave hello. I'm going to pull myself up on my screen there where I can follow the comments a little bit. So I'm just going to wait a teeny tiny bit until you pop in. Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to see myself on the screen. Oh, hello, Chris. Okay, I'm on the screen, which is perfect, and I'm just going to pop on my comments. Hi there, Cece. There we go. So, I hope you are all well, that you're all safe and healthy. I think things have been really crazy for all of us at the moment. It's a bit of a particular situation. It's a bit eerie, a bit strange, but we're going to make the best of it today and we're going to be creative. Hi there, Sue. Hi there, Xiomara. Hi there, Driffer. Hi there, Anne. You took refuge at the beach. Oh. We are only allowed to go out to get our groceries and we can go and walk around our village, but we have to stay really close by our home. So hi there, Megan. Oh, you're welcome. It's been a lot of YouTube lives this month. That's just how everything fell into place with the releases, as Lydia usually does all the releases. So there you go. Hello everyone, welcome back. So today I didn't really know what I was going to use. I kind of decided at the very last minute. So I hope everything works out and that I'll be able to show you lots of different ways of using the set that I picked out. This is a set I haven't used yet, so I thought it'd be nice just to use it on to use it today because I haven't used this set yet and I really wanted to test it with all the different possibilities. So I'm going to show you the set. Oh, Gina, me too. I love the crafty breaks. And I'm a teacher, so I'm at home at the moment, and you would think I would have loads and loads of time, but I don't. I thought I'd have loads of time to practice the cello and to read, and all I've been doing is getting online exercises ready for my students, giving them revision tasks, doing a conference calls, answering the questions. So I've been really busy just working anyway. So this has been my really first big break this week to craft, and I really need to get crafting because there are lots of due dates coming up very soon. But tomorrow is going to be my craft day. I'm going to be correcting for, well, still essays I had from 2 weeks ago, which I kind of forgot about. I'll be correcting those and then I'll be crafting loads. So there you have it. So this is the stamp set I'm going to be using. It's called the Wild Flora stamp set. So it's got these lovely outline flowers. There you go. So you've got like 3 flower elements, and then you've got an extra little leaf here at the bottom, and they are pretty large. They are pretty large. And then you've got several wonderful sentiments. I'm going to read them to you. There's like hello, thank you, best friend in the world, sunshine. So you can combine these like hello sunshine, hello best friend in the world, for all of you. Okay. For brightening my day, thank you for brightening my day. So this is a kind of, you combine the sentiments to create your own personal sentiments. For being so awesome, so that would be thank you for being so awesome. Flowers are like friends, they bring color to your world. That's a lovely one, I like that. Every flower is a soul blossoming in nature. And then there's one more, we appreciate you very much. So there you go, that's the set, and it comes with a coordinating die. I'm just going to stand up and pull something from the back here, because Alter New also has this lovely washi tape, and I haven't used it either, so I thought it'd be nice just to use it today as well. So this is the washi tape that the Wild Flora washi tape. So some of the flowers you can cut out with the coordinating dies, and I thought it'd be nice to show you how that works. So I'm just taking off the plastic because I haven't used it yet. I get so much stuff, I don't have time to use everything. So those are the products I'll be using. As this is just an outline stamp, I thought it'd be nice to do some watercoloring, and I'll be using the essentials. So I've got it here. Sorry, I'm just going to make a bit of noise. There we go. There we go. That was a stupid face anyway. So I've got the watercolor essential set, and then I've got also my metallic set. So I've got those two out, and I thought it'd be nice just to use those two. So there we go. I'm trying to see my comments, but oh, there we go. It should be okay now. So, hi. I can't see my comments on my screen. So what's this all about? Okay. There we go. I've got the comments. Okay, let's just see who's popped in. Okay, so some of the products that I've pulled out, I cut a piece of this watercolor paper from Altenew. So this is new. This is 9 by 12 inch watercolor paper. It's 140 lb or 300 grams, and it's cotton, 100% cotton and cold pressed, and I haven't used it yet and I wanted to test it. So I cut it down to a size which would fit into my MISTI and also fit the larger stamps on it. And I've also pulled out the smaller one as well. We'll just see which one we use a little later on. And I've got my little mixing palette ready, and I think we can start creating. So I'm going to pop you upside down and then the right way up. So this is going to be just a little bit of fiddling, and then we can get started. So okay. So I'm going to try and get you the right way. It's just a little bit of a fiddle. Okay, this should be okay. Okay, I'm just going to move my craft mat a little bit, just to center it a bit more. There we go. Oops. So oh, I might be able to zoom you up a little bit more. I've got lots of stuff going on. So we're going to just put the paints to one side at the moment. So I might just zoom you up a little bit. There we go. So this is my 100% cotton cold pressed paper. There we go. Thank you for sharing, Stacy. Thank you for sharing, Ritzella. Yes, don't forget to share while this is live. I don't know if anyone is going to pop in from Altenew. We'll just see. I know that sometimes with the time differences, it can be a little difficult. So, Wild Flora stamp set. So because I'm going to be watercoloring, I'm going to use some pigment ink. And usually what I would do is stamp it about half an hour in advance and leave that to dry. What I'm going to try and do now is just heat set it with my heat gun, and I just hope that will work. So today I thought it'd be nice just to work with these two flowers. So I'm just going to pull those out. So what's lovely about this set is that the flowers aren't necessarily from the same, so they're not necessarily identical. There we go. Okay, and I'll also stamp the little leaf. Okay. So I've got my stamps on my Misty tool. I'm just going to close it, and just before stamping I might just go over these stamps with my eraser just to get the stickiness off. And sometimes when the stamps are new and you haven't used them yet, there's kind of a little bit of residue from production on there, and your ink will just pearl. Now, it's less problematical with these outline stamps, I've noticed. It's more when you've got like the fuller images where you will get pooling, sorry, on your images or on your stamp sets. So I'm just going to ink this up with my black obsidian ink. You could also use these sets for no line watercoloring. That's still a little bit scary for me. I still have to work on my no line watercoloring skills. So I'm just going to do this technique with a nice crisp black background. So I'm just giving that a good press onto the watercolor paper. Might just do it again. Oh, I think I kind of stamped on the wrong side. Okay, I'm going to turn it over and stamp on the right side, or the side I wanted to, the somewhat smoother side. So I'm going to ink that up again. So this is watercolor paper, so it will not, the image won't be the same as if you were stamping it onto really smooth paper. So just giving that a good press. That's perfect. There we go. Okay, that's fine. So I'm just going to give my stamps a little clean. There we go. I just cleaned all my microfiber cloths, and in 1, 2, 3 they're going to be all dirty again. There we go. Okay, let's just see if those are. I'm just going to put a little bit of cleaner on there, just because it's the black ink. There we go. That way they are nice and clean for a next use. Oh, Anna. And when I was cutting the paper and looking at it, I said to myself, Lilith, don't forget to put it the right way. And then what did I do? I put it the wrong way. But this is really thick paper, so you can just turn it around and work on the back. No problem. So this is the first time I'm going to be using this watercolor paper. And we'll just see. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So now I'm just going to heat set this a little bit before I start coloring, because we don't want any black smudging to go on. Now you could do any kind of coloring here. You could use the artist markers if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to leave this to dry just a little bit, just so that it cools down and that it sets. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you this lovely, lovely washi tape. and how you can use it to cut out your shapes. So I'm just going to get a large sheet of white cardstock because this tape is really, really large. It is nearly 12 inches wide. So you could like fill a whole page if you wanted to. So I'm just going to stick this down onto the paper. So there we go. Hi there, Laurie. Yes, if you've just joined, don't forget to share and just mention that you shared, because I will pick a lucky winner at the end of this live. Oops. Oops a daisy. So what I usually do is I kind of stick it onto part, I kind of line it up with my craft mat. Ooh. Let's just pop this to the side. I'm just going to line the top up with just a line on my craft mat. There we go. Up, a little bit up. Okay. And then I'm just going to I'm just going to roll it up and then just pop my paper underneath. And I'm just going to then start rolling it down. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. Once it's down, I can just pull it and smooth it out. And that way I don't get too many little cracks. And I've got a couple of lines in there, but that's nothing. I can just pull this up a little bit. Just smooth it out, just a teeny bit. There we go. This washi tape is pretty forgivable. There we go. And when I come to the end, I just have to. Okay, there we go. So all I have to do now is fold it over on this side and just cut off the excess on the other. Okay, Chris, I will not pick you. There we go. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Yes, the washi tape is beautiful and it's so big. I mean, it's like nearly wallpaper. Okay. So here you can see the washi tape. So here I'm missing a little bit here. I'm just going to try and stick this back on. There we go. And I haven't got all my flowers on there, but I've got a few of them, and I can show you how the dies match up on this. So this is the coordinating die set. There we go. And for example, we've got this flower here, which you can cut out. So I am missing the bottom part, but that's okay. I mean, I'm just going to cut it out like so. So I'm just going to place my little flower on there. I'm just going to take a little bit of painter's tape. This is my go-to stick everything down tape. It's just really, it's quite good quality painter's tape. It doesn't stick too much, but it sticks just enough. So this I'm going to tape down. And I'm already going to just cut that out. I mean, usually what I would do is just cut them out with my scissors, but that's just really time consuming. So here I've got another one of the flowers. You can see this one with the beautiful trumpet flowers, and I can cut that out as well. So let's just line this one up. There we go. That way you really get a lot more from your dies and also from your washi tape. And you could just do lots of fussy cutting, but the dies make it so much easier just to cut all of these pretty flowers out. Now we don't have all the flowers, so if you would want this one or you want these like other blue ones, you would have to hand cut those out. So I'm just going to kind of cut around the die. Oops. So that it fits in my die cut machine, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit, I'm just going to do it like so. I can always pop the die back on afterwards. Because getting that 12 by 12 sheet through a die machine is going to be really hard. I do have one which fits 8 by 11 and a half, but 12 by 12 I don't have. So there we go, I've got this one, and ooh, moved a bit. Let's just get a bit of tape down. Yes, isn't it amazing, Megan, that the tapes also work? I mean, the dies work with the tapes. Makes life so much easier. There we go. And I'm going to pop this to one side. Here I've got part of that other flower, so I'm going to cut that out as well, because I can always use that and just tuck the part that I haven't got away underneath another object or another. I can pop like a photo over it, or just pop it on one side of the card. You don't need to have everything on your card or on your project. So there we go. I've got my 3 pieces, so those I can already cut out while my stamped image is drying. So for those who have just joined, I'm using the Wild Flora stamp sets, but I'm also showing you the coordinating die as well as the washi tape that goes with it. So I'm just going to move everything across so that I can get my die cut machine onto my craft mat. There we go. So as you can see, you can't pop these in the Mini Blossom, the Alternate Mini Blossom die cut machine. They are just a little bit too large. You will have to go for a larger tool. Thank you for sharing. Thanks, May, for sharing. And thank you, Veronique. There we go. And I mean, this is easy. This is just like sticking down tape, popping a die on it, and cutting it out. So, I mean, anyone can do this. No coloring until yet. And you can make your own personal card and everyone will go, wow, that's stunning. So this is the first flower. So I'm just going to pop this die to one side. I'm going to keep those little offcuts because I can always use that in a later project. There we go. I'm going to go with the next one with those pretty trumpet flowers. I love this one. It's such a beautiful flower. There we go. Thank you, Judy. Oh, Lynn, I'm still busy. I'm not finished yet. Next week, I'll be doing my usual time again over here. It's just because I know time changed in United States, so I had to move mine an hour earlier. And there we go. And we're going to cut our last one out, which is this pretty little stamp over here. And there we go. So this Wild Flora set is just stunning. I love it. It's so pretty. There we go. Look at that. That's so easy to do, and you've got this really pretty flower. There we go. So I'm going to move my die cut machine to one side. There we go. And now we can start working on our coloring, on the coloring of our flowers. I'm going to move you a bit. Oops. No, that's not good. I'm going to try and move you around a bit. There we go. I hope that's better. There we go. That should do it. Okay, so I've got my little washi tape cutouts. There we go. And now we're going to start with our painting. So I'm using the watercolor essential set. So Altenew has different types of watercolor sets. We had our first one, which was amazing. Then we had our second watercolor set come out, which is more, it's a bit more pricey, and it's more artist quality, and the colors are really vibrant. We've got our metallics, and then we've got this set, which is just a 12-pan set. But the colors are amazing as well. So we're going to use this one. I'm just going to clean I'm going to be using my palette over here, so that's okay. So I'm just going to pop my colors over here so that you can see it. So in this set you get 12 half pans. Oops, sorry. There we go. So here you can see them. You've got Puffy Heart, Rubelite Crimson, Warm Sunshine, Citrus Burst, Forest Glades, Jet Black, Paperback, Deep Iris, Persian Blue, Lagoon, and Emerald. So these are kind of my top favorite colors all in one. And if you're thinking, well, 12, that's not a lot, you can always mix them to create your own shades, and that's why it's really, really a lovely set as well. So I'm just going to get a little bowl with a bit of water, because we're going to be watercoloring. I'm going to pop this to one side over here. Okay. And in the set you also get a little watercolor brush. Today I'm not going to be using those because these are really fine images, and I want to do a more delicate watercoloring. I'm not an expert, so bear with me. I'm using these two watercolor brushes. These are ones I like to use. They are from Van Gogh, and I'm probably going to use this really the finer one as well. There we go. I'll pop this one away. And I've got some other water brush. I've got a really fine one over here. I might use that one as well. We'll just see. So I'm going to start mixing up some colors. So I want to stay kind of in the same tones, not exactly the same, but I do want to try and recreate the same colors which you can see on the washi tape. So I want to go with a yellow, but which is more of an ochre kind of tone. So I'm going to try and create that kind of yellow by mixing that onto my palette. So I'm just going to add water to my half palette over here. I'm just going to add some of that on to my mixing palette. So this mixing palette is also from Altenew. I'm so sorry there's no one from the Altenew badge here to help me along and to give you all the links. I will try and link in all the products I used afterwards. So once I'm done, I'll come back in and link up all the products I used in my description box. So if you're interested in all the products, I'll do that afterwards. So I've got my yellow on there. As you can see, that is really way too vibrant. I am going to add maybe just a hint of green, okay, just to make it a little bit different. There we go. Okay, and then maybe a bit of brown. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to try and darken that a little bit, get more of an ochre color. Okay, a bit more brown. Oh, that's maybe a little brown. Oh, now it's gone too. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with a bit of yellow just until I get the color I want. Yeah, that's still a little bit too dark for Just need more color here. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to test. Yeah, that's still pretty brown. Maybe pop in a bit of orange. I might just do the trick. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that color now. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to start watercoloring my images over here. So what I'm going to do is I've got a bit of color on my brush, but I've also added a bit more water and just watered it down a bit. And I'm just adding that to these lovely little petals. And I'm not going to work, usually when I'm watercoloring, and this is something Lydia taught me, try and work in opposite directions, because once the paper is wet, and if you're working on petals that are really close, the ink might blend. But here, some of these petals are spaced quite far apart, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. So I'm just adding this first color, which I've watered down quite a lot. So for example, here I've got 2 petals. I'm just going to do the first one, and I'll do the other one afterwards. Okay, same over here. I'm going to go with this one. Okay, there we go. So this is my base color, and then I'll add color to darken and to add shadows. Here we go. I'm going to add a bit more water. And I'm pretty happy with the stamping. It's not, this is a pretty light color, and the black is not moving, so that's great. Okay. The paper is amazing. Kind of dries pretty fast, but at the same time you can kind of add color and it kind of blends in really nicely. That's a good thing. Here, there we go. Just going to add in here. There we go. So I've got my yellow in there, and I'm going to add a bit of a darker shade in some spaces over here. So I'm going to go into the spot here where the color is a bit darker. There we go. And what's nice is you've got the washi tape as an example. So if you're not too sure where the shadowing is, you can always go and have a look at the washi tape and just see how it's done on there. That's something which I find is really difficult. So usually what I will do is I'll go look at examples of the flowers and just see how the shading is on them. There we go. So here I'm adding. Now usually in the stamps where it's a bit darker, you will see there are kind of more stamped lines. So that is also a good indication where you have to darken your image just a little bit. There we go. So I'm just darkening that as well, this side. Okay, a bit more here when I'm running out of color. Have to make some more, just maybe add a bit of water. There we go. Okay, so I've added a bit of a darker shade here just to create that little bit of shadow, but I do want a little bit more. So I'm just going to take a bit of water and just pop in for a little bit more of that brown just to darken that yellow a little bit more, so I can get just another little darker shade and just add that to the flower. Okay. So this takes a little bit of time, of course. What I love doing is like coloring one flower and leaving the other one a bit bare. That's something you could do as well. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go in with, going to do my other flower as well here. So watered down version is going to go in first. Okay, usually I wouldn't do all the petals at once, but I am working on YouTube Live. So we're going to try and speed the process up a little bit. Just going to lighten that a little bit more. There we go. Oh, I always forget how much I love this brush. It's my favorite brush. So I'm just adding that base color, and I'm not adding too much water, so this should dry pretty fast, meaning they can add my darker shade and just blend everything together. And I love watercoloring. It kind of helps me unwind from these days, which are really strange and really particular. Funny times. There we go. So I'm going to go in with that darker shade now as well. So yeah, I'm going to go in with darker shade. And I mean, there aren't, just go with what you think looks good. I mean, there are kind of rules, but who cares? Oh yes, Sue. I know sometimes I really hesitate because it takes a long time. You have to stamp and it has to dry, but it's so relaxing. It's such fun to do. I really love using my watercolors. It's one of my favorite things. Even when I was a child, I remember I asked my mum for an easel so that I could watercolor. It's really pretty relaxing. I'm just going to go in with a bit more of that brown and just mix up a bit more color. There we go. Just a bit of a darker shade. There we go. Ooh, Altanu has popped in. Hi! I don't know who's behind the Altanu badge today. I didn't check once again. Naughty me. So, and I mean, I was a bit afraid when I was using the Essential, this watercolor Essential pan set, but the colors mix together really well. You can create a whole mix of colors. So that's really fun to do as well. And kind of, you have to look up on your color theory and see how to mix colors, but it's really fun. There we go. I'm going to try and hold it up so maybe you can see how that looks now that it's been colored. And the watercolor paper is amazing. So you can see how I tried to add a bit of shadow there. Okay, I'm going to do the centers the same as this. You can see mine is it's a bit lighter, but I like it as well. I'm not going to use them on the same project, so there we go. Oh, thank you, Lynn. No, it's okay, no worries. I mean, when internet goes down, that's bad. Okay, I might do the other flower in another color just to change things up a little bit. There we go. So just going to clean this a little bit more. Oops. Let's just get my cloth out. There we go. Clean again. So for the centers, I'm going to mix up a bit of blue. So this one, this color is the, this is Persian blue, which is really nice and blue. This is already a really nice color. For a beginner, I mean, this is a very good beginner set. The colors are a lot softer and a lot subtler, and which means you might have to go in a little bit more, but maybe you have a bit more wriggle room with these ones. I mean, I like them all, but this is a good set to begin with. Yeah, it has some of the same colors as the larger one. If you're really comfortable with mixing colors, I mean, you can create lots of colors with just these. You could like create your mix sheets. I don't know, create kind of a... So I'm just going to add a bit of the lagoon in there. Ooh, this one is my favorite. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. So this got a bit more of a greeny. There we go. That's good. I'm going to go in with this color. Hi there, Donna. Good afternoon. Okay. So now I'm going to go in and just add a bit of that blue here in the center. I'm just dabbing it on. There's a little water on there. There we go. And I might go in with just a bit of that darker blue just to create a bit of shading. There we go. Get a bit of difference in that. So I'm just stippling this in now. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I might just water it down a bit for the center. There we go. There we go. A bit lighter. Oh, the first time with the washi tape, I know. It's once you start cutting out washi tape with the dies, you never stop. I've used washi tape and dies so many times. It's just super duper fun to do and super easy as well. There we go. So I've got the blues in there. This one went a lot more towards the lagoon. There we go. Okay, so now the leaves. I'm not good at leaves. So let's quickly do those leaves and then we can work on this one. I might do something with a red or a pink tone. So some green, Forest Glades. This is already one of my favorite greens. Thank you for sharing, Donna. There we go. So I'm just going to start with this color as such, and I might add something to darken it afterwards, just to add a bit of something different. So let's just start to go in with the Forest Glades. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow the veins of the leaves. Okay, this is how I usually do it. Okay. And I'm just going to water down, just add water onto my brush and just a bit of the color. And then I just go over the leaf and just like kind of blend it out a bit. I might add a darker shade afterwards. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to leave them as such, and then I'll add a darker shade maybe afterwards. Come on, I need more water. There we go. Okay. So sometimes I do work directly from the palettes. Just I knew this one I hadn't cleaned, but I do like mixing my colors. So usually I will work either on the element or the palette which is in the set, or I will kind of mix. I prefer using less color and then going in for more. But I have noticed with this watercolor paper is that you can really blend it out, and if you want to, you can just go in with water and kind of pick up color, which means that you've got a lot more wiggle room if you want to add color. So this is kind of my base color. I'm going to go in with a darker shade afterwards. There we go. Just to add more depth. So here I've got my leaves done. So now I'm going to go and create a darker shade. You can go straight on for it. I mean, sometimes for my mixed media projects, I might go straight in from the palette and do like circles or lines and mix them together. But I mean, I think you just have to play around with it and find something that fits you. There we go. Ooh. It's a bit bright, so I'm going to go in once again with a bit of that brown. Okay, more brown. Yep. Okay, that's more like a mossy green, but that will work quite well. So I'm going to do my stems with this mossy green. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that color. I'm just going to work my way all the way down. And you can't see it on screen, but I'm going to try. I always hold my arm like this when I'm painting. So I will like paint like this. It just gives me a bit more, so I will just hold it down like this. I don't know why, it's kind of something I do. Gives me a bit more, a sturdier feel. There we go. Oh, I like this color, it's so pretty. I'm just going to add a bit of definition and some shadow just to, there we go. So relaxing. I should do this more often, just to, because I am pretty anxious at the moment. I don't know how you are feeling, but this is so, it's not that I'm scared or anything, it's just I'm a highly organized person. I organize things and I plan things, and now I mean, it's out of my control, so it makes me a bit anxious. There we go. Yeah, it's to stabilize a bit. Just there we go. I really like that color I mixed up. It's kind of a mossy green. So pretty. There we go. I'm going to blend this out a bit. I really love this watercolor paper. There we go. So pretty. Okay, I need to go and add it in a bit more over here. I really love playing around and creating my own colors with the watercolors. It's really fun. And I've been watching someone on Instagram who uses acrylics. Oh, I would love to give that a try as well. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of brown on that stem, just to add a bit of something a bit different. Oh, I like that brown. It's really good. Okay. There we go. So I've got my leaves done. And now I'm going to just start, maybe just going to flip the palette a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to work on my other flower over here. And I'm going to go with a nice red. I'm going to mix my colors once again. Yep, more control of, well, I don't know if I really control my hand more, it's just, I think it's more psychological. This color is really vibrant, as you can see. Oh, thank you. And I'm still pretty new to the watercoloring thing here, so that's pretty as well. Whoops. Okay. A bit more red. I do want to darken that a bit, so once again I'm going to go in with that brown. I think I'll be using lots of brown today. Yeah, that's nice. I like that one. Don't know if it's too, yeah, that's pretty. Okay. So once again, I'm just going to start with a lighter variation. So I'm going to add a bit of water next to it there. Might add a bit more red. There we go. Okay, let's just water this down. Okay. I think I will have to as well. At first I thought it was magnetic, but no. What was I thinking? I'm just going to add, maybe add a bit more water here. So I'm just going to start like this. I'm going to add the lighter colors here at the top. There we go. So I have watered this down quite a bit, but I can always add in color afterwards. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to go in with a darker shade now. I know, Chris, that's what I say to myself as well, but it's really hard. It's something I struggle with, I mean, every day, so I try not to worry too much, but it's not always easy. I've got one of my sons coming to peek in and say hello. You want to come and say hello, Robin?
No.
No, he says no. Oh, thank you. Yes, they are helping. I mean, nothing better than a bit of crafting. So here, I'm trying to kind of darken the bottom part a bit more. I've got some blue on there. So there we go. I will be kind of blending things out a bit afterwards. I'm just going to start working like so. Okay, just going to create a bit more of a darker shade. There we go. So let's go in a bit more here at the bottom. What's the matter, Robin? Want to say something?
Look.
What do I have to? What do I have to look? Oh, you're watching me on YouTube. Well, that's a good thing as well. If you look at the bottom, you will see that one of my sons has popped in and has said, "Hello, mother." They usually speak French with me, so that's funny. Okay, I'm going to lighten the color a bit and just do a bit of blending over here so that it's a bit less harsh. I'm just going to go in with water. It's a good way to blend things. And this watercolor paper is really amazing. It blends really easily. Oops. There we go. I love this watercolor paper. It's stunning. Really, so if you've gone too dark, if you go over with a bit of water, it will just blend the color out ever so nicely. It's amazing. You get this really lovely soft finish. It's really pretty. Just softening those edges a little bit. There we go. Might go in with just a bit of dark over here. There we go. There, we're nearly there. And we can do the leaves and the centers. He did pop his head around the door, but the door's like over there, and so he doesn't want to come and say hello. Because we're in like on a lockdown, bedtime has gotten a bit out of control, but I mean, my boys, the two eldest are 16, then we've got 13 and 10. Usually they're in bed by 9 or 10, and then they just get up a bit later and they do a bit of schoolwork. So we're taking it kind of really relaxed. There we go. So I've got my flower there, and I really like how that has turned out. It's really pretty. I'm just going to add in a bit of a yellow orange. I hope he sees you, Chris. So I'm just going to mix that yellow in with a little bit of that red color I had already created, just to create like a small, and then I'm going to just pop that in the center. Ooh, could be a bit more yellow. Just going to get a bit more yellow. There we go. That's better. I will be going in with some of my metallic paints afterwards. He's gone away. I think he's too scared. They have done that when they did that when they were small anyway. So I'm going to do some more leaves. I'm just going to pick up a bit of color here. It's dried, but if I add a bit of water, that should do the trick. There we go. More brown. More green. There we go. Come on, Lilith, work a bit faster. Okay, let's go. So going to do my little leaves over here. I've got really a moss green. These colors are really muted. It's funny because when I did the paint a flower, I went for these really vibrant purple, irisy kind of colors. And here the colors are really muted, and I love them as well. I love this kind of burgundy color and then kind of a mossy green, which is really, really pretty. And I will go and darken it a bit just to give a bit more definition to the leaves. There we go. I love watercoloring images like this because I'm learning how to watercolor my own flowers and leaves, but it's really hard. It's not that easy. And so this is a great way of familiarizing, I don't know, getting to know the flowers and how they are shaped. So when I do my own watercoloring, that maybe I can get a nice flower. So I'm just going to add a bit more of that brown to my green. I love this wild Flora stamp set. It's so pretty. There we go. Okay, this is turning out a bit more brownish than I wanted to, but it's a bit different. You can always go a bit in with the green. I'm just going to add a bit more of that. There we go. So here I'm working directly from the palettes. I just want a bit more green in there. Okay. It's better. It went a bit fast. So I've got my flowers ready. So, thank you. It is really relaxing, and I love the color shading. I love this color. I love this kind of really, it's a red, a burgundy kind of red going over to like leaning towards the browns. It's really, really pretty. So I'm just going to leave these to dry, and then I can cut them out and maybe create a little card with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my palette on top here. That way I will go and clean it out afterwards. So as you can see, this is the watercolor pan set, and it's really pretty. There we go. Oh, I did want to add a little bit of those metallic watercolors to the leaves just to make them shine a little bit. Just going to see if I'm going to do that or not. Oh. So this is the metallic set, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of this red over here. Okay, I'm going to tell you what it's called. It's called Garnet. This is the Garnet one. Yeah, that's really pretty. That's going to work well with my flower over there. These are really pigmented, so I'm just going to be really careful. I'm just going to add a bit here to the bottom, just to get a bit of a sparkle. You could mix them in while you are watercoloring, but here I'm just going to add that little bit to. Okay, I'm just going to water this down a bit. Just going to pull that color a bit around. It's really sparkly. You can't really see it on the screen, but it's so pretty. Just gets a little bit of sparkle there. So once again, just going to water that down and just pull it up a little bit. And have a little bit of sparkle all over the flower. Yeah. Gonna add a little bit. This is just kind of a white. This will just add a bit of sparkle. It won't, yeah, it will lighten the color just a little bit. Just give it a couple of little. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do the same. I think I'm just going to give the flowers that kind of little sparkly treatment. I'm going to do the same with the yellow over here, and I'm going to use this one. This is a gold color, I think. This is called Gold Pearl. It's kind of going towards those ochre colors. So you do need to add a little bit of water, quite a bit of water, but once it's activated the color, it's really. You can see how vibrant. I'm going to try and just show you how vibrant it is just by adding a bit onto the paper. You can see that over there. You can see how really, how shiny and vibrant that is. I'm going to try and hold it up. There we go. It is really, really pretty. There we go. So this is like the color I really want to use for that flower. I'm nearly finished. All I have to do is cut them out and just pop them onto a base. I'm just going to add a bit of that gold here. I'm going to follow where I did the shading because it's the same color. I think I created kind of a goldish shade without the sparkle when I was creating this flower. So I'm just going to add that to that darker part, and that will just give that extra little bit of shine. And that is just going to make the flower a bit different. There we go. Nearly done. I'm so happy I tried this out. It's so pretty. I'm so happy with how these flowers turned out. And I'm going to add some blue as well. Okay, I'm going to go in with this. Come on. It takes a while for these metallic watercolors to get start getting activated, as I call it. But once they're there, I mean, the color is amazing. Oh, that's pretty. That's so pretty. Okay, I'm just going to add a bit of that to the mid. Oh, that's that. Ooh, I'm happy. I'm a happy girl now. That is so pretty and sparkly. And it's a shame you can't see it on the screen, but it is really, really sparkly. Just gives that a little bit of oomph. There we go. Okay. And it's funny because if you're using these metallic watercolors, and afterwards, once you've rinsed your brushes in the water, you will see all that mica drifting around I'm just going to add a little bit of that, maybe just add a bit more water because that's pretty dark. I'm just going to add a bit of, okay, I'm just going to lighten that a little bit. Okay, just going to add a little bit of shimmer and shine to my little leaves over here. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to kind of water that down a little bit so you don't get too much of the dark, you just get the shimmer all over the flower. There we go. Ooh, I love the shine. So pretty. Same here. I'm just gonna bit of shine, just going to kind of pull it all over that leaf. And so that's really, really subtle. There we go. That's perfect. Oh, that's pretty. There we go. So those are my flowers done. Oh, Heidi, yeah, I know. Once you start using them, you can't stop. So that was the metallic watercolor palette. I love this palette. I don't use it often enough, but it's so pretty. And I just want to, I don't know if you can see the shine and the shimmer on there, but it's so pretty. It's all shimmery and shiny. So I'm going to cut these out now. So are they dry enough? Okay, let's just go ahead and cut them out. Let's just try this. Okay. I'm going to try and not to get any tape onto the painted part. There we go. Yes, do use if you're thinking, ooh, I want some inks and I want some watercolors, but I can't choose what to get some inks and you can watercolor with them. They are perfect for watercoloring. I kind of just dab them onto a palette and then add water, and they work really, really well. It's really easy. There we go. So there we go. I'm going to kind of stick this down over here, maybe add a bit, move it a bit up, just like so. And this watercolor paper has held so well because sometimes when you start watercoloring, your paper is going to warp a bit, and then when it dries, it's like wonky. And when you want to die cut it, the dye doesn't really fit onto the image. But this hasn't moved a bit, and you can feel it. It's really, really good quality. It's really thick. It won't move. I love the feel of this watercolor paper. It is really, really amazing. So there we go. Going to pop this through the machine, and my paper is a bit too large. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of bend it through. There we go. Let's just see if this works. Okay, let's go. Okay, yeah, so if they're ready, then you can't say, I'm not going to watercolor. That's the way to go. That's usually what I do. I've got an idea in my mind. Maybe it's late at night. I put everything ready. Then I know I can start working straight away. It's kind of a motivator. So let's just pop these pretty flowers out. There we go. And there we have them. And they are so, so pretty. There we go. So I haven't had time to create a card, but at least you get the idea of what you can do with these stunning sets. There we go. Yeah, I was thinking 48. I haven't seen that set yet too. So here you can see the flowers. I'm going to try and hold them up. And I mean, even these two work together so well. You just pop them on a card front. I might just do that. Let's just show you how they would look on a card front. I'm just going to take one of the watercolor ones just to show you. There we go. You could just pop that on there. You'd have to kind of trim off some of the elements. And I mean, that's like stunning. It's so simple. Sue, do you want them? I think I'm going to use them. There we go. Oh, I do understand, Heidi. It's so difficult. I don't know if you can see the sparkle on the screen, but they are really, really sparkly. And it's really, really pretty. I'm so glad I added those kind of watercolors, the metallic watercolors, because they do sparkle. There. So I'm going to pop you back up and just show you, just walk you through what I used. Now my desk is a mess. You should see it. It's horrible, but anyway. So this is going to be, you're going to see my ceiling once again. Okay, I'm going to, oh, sorry. I'm going to zoom out. Okay. I'm going to go back on the ceiling and I'm going to swivel you around. There we go. This is just a bit of a trick. Sorry. Oh, I'm red. That's always when I craft. It's really hot in my room. Just pop you down a bit. Oops. There we go. So, I'm back. So today we use the Wild Flora stamp set, which you can see here, with the coordinating dies, and I also showed you the washi tape. So this is the really wide washi tape. It's nearly 12 inches, not quite, but nearly. So you could create like a 12 by 12 sheet and maybe just add a bit of gold on the edges just to cover up the white border. And so this is the stamp set, the Wild Flora stamp set, the Wild Flora washi tape here, and you've got coordinating dies. The dies cut out the flowers and the leaves that you see on here. And you can also use it on the washi tape. So just to show you, I cut out this flower from the washi tape, and I also cut out this beautiful little trumpet flower over here. I don't know what it's called. You can see if you layer them up and pop them on a card, that's a really quick way to create something really pretty. And I also cut out this one. This one was on the side, but all you have to do is you can just kind of pop it onto the side of your card and just have a flower that comes off there, and then maybe add another one here coming through at the bottom. So don't be afraid to use your dies on your washi tape. And then what I did is I stamped the outline images, and then oops, you don't fall on the floor. I have to go and get it, sorry. Oops. That always happens to me. I'm back. So I stamped the images onto some of the new watercolor paper from Altenew, which is this pad. This is a 9 by 12 inch pad, 100% cotton, cold pressed, 12 sheets, and I cut out the sheets so that it would fit into my MISTI tool. I stamped 2 of the images here, and I colored them in using the essential watercolor pan set, which is our new set. And then I also added a bit of metallic, and I'm going to try and hold it up so you can see it sparkle. There you can see it sparkle a bit. I don't know if you can see it. It's all nice and sparkly. It's really, really pretty in real. Oh, there you can see it. Oh, I can see it on my screen. I don't know if you can see it, but it's really, really pretty. There we go. So there you have it, and all you have to do is add a little sentiment. So there you have it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this a little session with all my little bloopers and things falling on the floor and little boys popping in and saying hello. Have a lovely day, stay safe, craft away, and don't forget to share everything you craft on social media and just tag us in there, because we love seeing your amazing projects. A huge shout out to Lydia, who popped in all the links and answered any of your questions. She came in a bit late, but she had some internet issues, so there we go. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for sharing, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.